So, two of the three comments on my unboxing video at the time of recording this were about when I was going to do a review. And I filmed a review yesterday, and it was edited it down to about 10 minutes. And I kept watching it and I kept listening to it, and I realized that it wasn't really the review that I wanted to make. As I was letting it process and as I was letting YouTube upload it, I was listening to records, and I realized that what I was saying in that review wasn't really reflecting how I felt about the turntable in actuality. In the original review, I said that the hardships that I sort of endured to get the turntable had little to no bias on the review, when in fact I think it had a lot of bias. So I'm going to do it differently. This isn't going to be a review per se. I don't want to put a score on it, and I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of the turntable. If you came here looking for detailed looks at the turntable, my unboxing has that. If you came here looking for assembly directions, I believe U-Turn Audio has YouTube videos or a YouTube channel, and they detail that in their videos. It's really simple construction anyway, so there's not much to it. It's definitely an easy construction. You put the platter on the spindle, and you put the belt around the platter and the motor, and you're off and running. Mine was a little more difficult because when U-Turn originally made the spindles, they didn't take thermal expansion into consideration. So as I would play records, there would be more friction, and it would eventually slow the platter down to a halt. The motor would just spin, and the belt wouldn't go anywhere, and the platter wouldn't move. They gave me a replacement for free, and it was literally pick the old one off, put the new one on, and now it works perfectly. And I mean, style-wise, now that I've taken the slip mat off the acrylic platter, I'm literally just sandwiching the records and the platter together, which may or may not be good for it. I read on forums that it's okay, so I'm going to go with it. It looks really nice. I think there's a beauty in that simplicity, and when I see my turntable in my media cabinet, it makes me want to play records. It makes me want to look at my collection and go, well, what am I in the mood for? And that's a victory for the turntable in and of itself. If you have a device that makes you want to use it, that's a good product. The competition for this turntable isn't the VPI Traveler, which they would consider an entry-level turntable. It's more along the lines of Riga and the Project. The Project Carbon is the one that immediately comes to mind. And there's also the Music Hall 2.1 or 5.1. I can't remember the exact name or number of it, but so Riga, Project, and that third one that I just can't remember right now. For what the turntable is, which is a simple turntable that is handmade in the US by a small group of people, I think that is more valuable to me as a consumer than a mass-produced item, because one, if there's any problems with it, they're a small enough company right now where you can immediately talk to customer service and get an email back that day. I went through that plenty of times. Thanks, Ben. And just the fact that you know it's special, it's not a super big thing yet, I think there's cred in that. There's just something nice about being an early adopter of a product. The downside to that is that you have to go through kind of the birthing pains of the new products as they come along. But I think the novelty of owning something special and possibly limited run outweighs the bad experiences that you get as an early adopter. Yeah, those are really my thoughts on the turntable. It's a good turntable. I would recommend it to people that are not fresh into vinyl, but aren't 50 years old playing Mahler symphonies. Like, I would recommend it to my peers who may have a little bit more experience in vinyl and are looking from a step up from an automatic turntable. That's really who I would recommend this to. Like I said, I'm not gonna really give a traditional rating for it. it's a good turntable. Whether it sounds good is up to the records that you have and the sound system you're going through and how you perceive the music personally. So I don't feel comfortable giving it a actual score. All I can say is that I enjoy it. It makes me want to play records, and it plays records well, now that I've hopefully gotten over some of the problems with it.